Hello everybody out there, how are you today? Here we're going to talk about some stuff, STUFF stuff. We're going to talk about the language of connection. That's what we're going to talk about today. I'm working with something here, here we go. Everybody out there, how are you today? Turn the volume down on this. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Let me see if anybody's here. I'm working on something. I see we got one person watching, so welcome. Put a little comment in the comment box. Let me know you're here to say hi, and I'll say hi back. So today we're going to talk about the language of connection, and we're also going to talk about the opposite of that, the language of conflict. Because a lot of times what happens in our marriage, and I see this all the time in my own marriage and other people's marriages that I work with, is we have a language of conflict. We've learned a language that leads us to conflict in our marriage. We've learned a way to respond that leads us to these stalemates, these places where we don't feel like our needs are getting met, the place where we feel like the only option we have is to leave, the place that we feel like our biggest problem is our partner. So a lot of this is coming from the language that we're using. So I want to talk about it because this is really important. The language of connection is really important. You want to be able to communicate in a way that leads to connection. Am I right? You want to communicate in a way that leads to intimacy, in a way that you feel fulfilled in your marriage. You want to be able to share. You want to be able to share with your partner in a way that feels good and that they can hear you. But most of us have not learned how to share that way. Most of us have learned how to share from a place of disconnection, conflict. We know the language of disconnection, of conflict, of feeling unheard, and just disconnected. That's the best word that I can come up with for it, the language of disconnection. So it's really easy to know what that language looks like. Like, you don't love me. You never hear what I'm saying. You just don't get it. This is the language of disconnection. All the words and phrases that we use, like, I keep trying to tell you, you just don't hear me. Like, why don't you ever do this thing you know that I want you to do? The language of disconnection is easy for us. We know what that looks like. It's easy. Like, you piss me off. Like, why the hell would you do that? You know I can't stand that. Why do you always lie? Why are you never there for me? Why is it that you just don't get it? We know what that language looks like. We're really good at that language. That's why you're here, because people in the past have taught us that language. So it's time to learn a new language, the language of connection. And so what does that look like? We're going to talk a little bit. I'm not going to go into this too much, but I want to give you some value here in this video. What does the language of connection look like? That looks like when our partner shares with us that they're going through something hard, something that's bringing up a lot of anger for them, or sadness, or hurt, or disgust. We validate them the best we can and say, man, that's got to be hard for you. I'm sorry to hear that. That's not easy to do, but the language of connection, when somebody shares a pain, we meet them at that place where they are. We meet them where they are. I had a great reminder of this recently from somebody that I really appreciate, one of the people that coaches me. And it was a great reminder is we got to be attuned to the other person, because we can get so lost in what we want and what we're not getting. Then that's the language of disconnection. When we get into all the things that we're not getting, all the things that we want, all the things that the other person's not providing for us, then we lose connection. So I'm glad that you're here. Thank you. I honor you for being here, because these are the moments when you can get that support and that energy to be able to use in your marriage to start to speak in a different way and connect with your partner instead of disconnecting. Because it's easy to feel after years of not getting what we want in our marriage, it's easy to just start saying, like, you just don't get it. This is ridiculous. We keep coming back to the same place, like it's like repeat, right? You know, and we want our needs to be met. We want our partner to show up for us in the way that we need. But sometimes we don't even know what it is that we need, and that's okay. So the language of the connection is the language of understanding. It's a language of openness. It's a language of acceptance. It's a language of caring. It's a language of being responsible for our own experience and our own feelings. And that's not easy, but that's what I come here every week to share with you, is to help you to start the journey of taking on this huge opportunity that we have of being able to start to see, how am I contributing to this experience in my marriage that I don't want? What is my part? How can I change it? What can I do to change it? Because it's easy to look at the other person and say, I know the long list of things that you need to do. I got them real clear. They're right here. You need to start showing up for me whenever I want it. You need to start giving me attention, start validating my feelings. It's really easy. We know all that stuff, right? We got the list of that. We know. We tell our partner, what, you lied? Now you're in big trouble, right? And I like to make light of this stuff because this is serious stuff, you know. But if we can get a light heart about this, hi, thank you for saying hi, Julie. If we can get a light heart about this, then we can start to tap into the energy that we get to bring to our marriage. Because, you know, when we bring, and maybe this is why you're here, because your partner's bringing low energy to your marriage and you're tired of it and you want them to change, but you're not sure what they can do or what you can do to help them to change. Because it's frustrating, because they just they're just either they're lazy, they don't have any energy, they never show up for you the way you want. And never is a word that is probably not true, but most of the times you feel like they're not showing up for you the way that you want. So how do we start to encourage them in a way that works? Because telling somebody about all the things they're doing wrong, 0 to 10, how likely is that to help to go, well, this is what you suck at, and you suck at this too, and let's see, and you also suck at that. Yeah, and by the way, you suck at this, and you suck at that. Now, are you going to do that? Because if you don't, I'm going to tell you some more stuff you suck at. And this is how we show up in our marriage. I know, because I did it for years. And I couldn't figure out why my wife didn't want to do the things that I wanted her to do. You know, it's easy to do that. And it's easy to get stuck in that mode. And that's okay. There's no judgment by this. I bring the lightheartedness and the humor to this to make it fun. It doesn't have to be a big task. We've got to tap. We don't got to do anything. We don't have to do anything. We get to. We have the opportunity to tap into this internal power that we've been given from birth to be able to start to change our marriage and our lives for the better forever. And that's what I'm here to do, is to support you to do that. I want to support you in doing everything you can to change your marriage, because I work with people that their partner isn't willing, isn't able, and we work together and their marriage starts to change because they change. I just posted a video. If you didn't see it after this, go check it out, of one of the guys that I work with, a great dude, and he wanted to unturn every stone in his marriage to figure out what he could do to save it, because they were talking about divorce. They went to counseling for over a year together, and it didn't do anything. We worked together, and I was thinking it was for a couple months, but he reminded me, he's like, no, we worked together a lot longer than that. So we worked together for 6 months to a year, him and I. His wife never came, and he was able to make some changes that really made some great changes in his marriage. And now he's happy. He shared about how he's happy now, and it's a great pleasure for me to be able to do that. I love to do what I do. It's an honor and it's a pleasure to work with people to help them do everything they can do to change their marriage. So I just share that with you to say, where are you at in your marriage? If you know that you need some one-on-one support, I'd love to support you in that. Either way, these videos I'm gonna be doing this to support you either way. But sometimes it takes an extra level of support to start to implement these strategies on a regular basis and to be able to have the energy and figure out how can I do this, because hey, I got the information, I know what to do, but I don't know how to do it. And that's what I'm here to help you with. If you're interested in one-on-one support, how can I do that? It's not easy. Life is not easy alone. And then you add another person, you get two people that don't know exactly how to get their needs met, and we've been told that our partner's supposed to do that for us, right? And we don't. So we get married and then our partner doesn't meet our needs, and then we're like, what the heck? Hey, thanks for saying hi, everybody. Thanks for the comments. I appreciate it. It's nice to see the comments. You know, we're like, hey, aren't you supposed to be meeting my needs over here? And then they say, well, what do you want me to do? And I'm like, well, I'm not really sure. I just want you to respect me. What does that mean? Respect. That can mean a lot of things. Some people, respect means don't talk unless you're talked to, right? Or other people, if I come in the room and you don't say hi, that means you don't respect me. So there's a lot of these other things to language. So the language of connection is really a language of openness. It's a language of allowing and supporting. It's a language of willingness to take our part. It's a language of where's the opportunity, asking ourselves, where's the opportunity here? It's easy to, this is one of the hardest parts about marriage and relationship, is it's easy to look at the other person and say, the reason I feel this way is because you're not doing this thing. It's easy to do. We all do it. I do it still. I can start to feel stressed, angry, frustrated, and I'm looking around to see where these people are at that are making me feel that way. Where are you at? I share this a lot because it's true. I can start feeling frustrated, and I'm looking for the person who did it, because I know it's got to be somebody around here that's making me feel angry. When I used to work, well, I still do, but when I used to work as a cook, I used to lose my spatula, and the first thing I'd do is be like, who took my spatula? And then I'd figure out, oh, I just set it off to the side and forgot where it was. It's the same kind of thing. So what can you do is why we're here. Because when I work with people to help them figure out what they can do. What is it that you can do? Even when I work with couples, I take two people and I say, what can you do? What can you do together? You know, there's no blame, no judgment. It's all about, it doesn't matter what your partner's doing. What are you doing? And that's what I support people to do. It makes it much easier to create a beautiful marriage when we forget about what is the other person doing? I don't care. What am I doing? What am I doing to change this? So I'm ready to support you one-on-one if that's something you're interested in talking about. I'd love to talk to you, and I'd love to be able to support you here as well, because I know that conflict is a misunderstanding. It's a simple misunderstanding 99.9% of the time. Conflict is not this big complicated thing. It's just we just aren't able to see each other's experience, and we want to share our experience. It's like we're both reading out of different books. You know, maybe you're reading out of a romance novel and your partner's reading out of a action adventure book. You know, and we're trying to share that experience with the other person. We want them to hear what's going on in our story, and we're just doing everything we can, and they're doing the same, but we never are able to hear each other. So the language of connection opens up for us to be able to hear what is our partner's story? What are they going through? What do they see? What are they experiencing? What are they feeling? How can I be open to hear what they're saying? How can I be open within myself and generate the energy within myself to be able to really hear them? Because we all want to be heard. We all want other people to listen and hear us. That's that's a huge thing. We want other people to hear us, and sometimes the best way to get somebody to hear you is to listen to them first, and then they're willing to hear us. Maybe you can remember a time in your life when that's been true. And that's hard to do. It's not easy to listen to somebody else whenever we're hurting and we're going through pain and we're suffering. It's hard because we want them to help us. We want them to validate us and help us out of this experience that we're having. And sometimes they're suffering too, and they don't know how to do that. And that's what I'm here for, because that's what I do. I help people out of suffering to figure out what can you do about what's going on in you and in your relationship. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you got a lot out of this video. If you made it to the end, congratulations. Give yourself a round of applause because you made it to the end. And when you watch these videos from the beginning to the end, I know that it's sometimes with our distracting world that can be challenging. But if you did, give yourself a hand, because that's how you start to learn what to do to change your marriage for the better forever by doing that. So thank you so much. Thanks for coming. I appreciate each and every one of you. Have a wonderful evening. Have a good one. Thanks. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.